All right, welcome everyone. Pine Grove News Live, 6 o'clock on the dot here on the East Coast. And let's go to the weather. I guess the weather here 38 degrees, sun is down, and I don't know, typical winter day. Possibility of rain overnight, drizzle here and there. That's about it. That's all that's going on in here in Connecticut, southern New England anyway. Typical. I gotta say that a few times. Typical. Yeah, New England winter day. Boring, cold, where most people hibernate, during the winter in New England. And what they do is go down the street to their neighbor's house, whatever, have a party, play some cards. So, what's going on with everyone? Hope everyone's doing okay. Well, if you've been listening to the news, what do you think's going on? Yeah, so we'll start with the impeachment thing first. Okay. I guess they had a vote, and this was a vote on allowing witnesses. And I guess that happened around 5:38 p.m. I don't know, a couple minutes after that, they came with the vote, and they are not going to allow witnesses. And it was a 51 to 49 vote. So they're saying even if the two Republicans who might have wanted to jump ship, it would have been a 51 to 50 vote, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, well, no, I don't see why that would make it. Anyways, that's what they said on Fox News on the 5, who are in Florida, I guess, for the Super Bowl, which is going to happen on Sunday. Yep. And the only reason is a, big, huge deal. The Super Bowl, this one game, the last game out of the year, people have a chance to have a party. I know people who will not watch football all year long, but of course they will throw a party or go to a party because it's an excuse to party, period. Yeah, well, it's the time we live in, right? And so we're just going to talk about the other part of the news that hopefully I'll get to it briefly and quickly, and that's the coronavirus. So, hey, God bless, Hen. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay, you and your mom. How's mom? Yep. I thought I stopped the music, but let's put stop. And let's go check and see if we are live on YouTube. YouTube is live. We are live, but there is. I mean, we've been talking about this so-called. Let me put this up there first. I have to do this. This Fair Use Act warning. Okay, so we'll put that up out there, and then I'll go remind you about this 2001 event 201, they're calling it exactly. So we've heard in the beginning of these events that they were talking about that what they were going to do along with this practice. Basically, this event is a simulation of the coronavirus outbreak. Okay, and this was done 3 months before the outbreak was reported. Okay, so however that sets into your mind, whatever, just continue, taking in the facts. Got to keep a watch on this. But in any case, one of the things that they said in there that they were going to do or should do during their exercise, if the real thing happened, was to screen all the news. Now, Facebook is now going to be screening anything to do with the coronavirus, especially any kind of fear mongering. I don't know how they think they're going to screen it. I know they got two so-called fact checker sites, and I believe it's just them, and it's just wrong. They don't. They just take things out of context. They change what's really out there, and that's what Facebook is doing. I'm sure, YouTube and others will probably do it too. So, if you're listening to this live, I mean, maybe the video will not be out because the majority of this is going to be on the coronavirus. What we're hearing that's happening over there in China, and some pretty gruesome stuff there. So first of all, let's go to our map. Okay, and I updated it about a couple hours ago. And today is Friday, thank God. Got a couple of days off. Need it very much so. So today, 9,925 confirmed cases of this coronavirus. U.S. is up to 6 now. Okay, we were at 5 for quite a while there, for about a week and a half. So I'm going to I should have started taking screenshots before, but I'm starting to take screenshots of this big red dot right in the middle. It just keeps growing. It has grown into other cities now. It started out, one of the bigger blobs there, but it has grown now to intersect with all these other cities, and you'll hear some other news. But anyway, 213 deaths so far. It's up quite a bit. I think the last time we talked about it was up, 130. I don't know. I forget. But I don't understand this. So maybe I don't understand something, but you tell me, because there's 213 deaths and total recovered are 222. So does that mean that there are 9,400 people still sick with it? 9,400 people. Okay, that we're still waiting on. Okay, so where to start? All right, well, I want to show you a couple of videos here, just a minute or two of them. So I have to go in here and turn up this volume so the people in Mixler can hear it. And we'll get back. He's good. I'm glad, Ann. Good, because I see the people where I work, man, and they're just getting, worse and worse. New people coming in, and they look younger. The thing about these, convalescent homes, assisted living homes, nursing homes, the people coming in are they look much younger, like they really shouldn't be there. I mean, not one gray hair on a couple people. I believe there was a new one that came in yesterday morning or this morning. And man, I believe she only looked about 50 or so. And, I know that some of these places they don't always have people who are, very old. But in any case, and I just, I just, what can I do besides pray for them? I mean, I go around, I talk to them while I'm trying to perform my maintenance duties when I'm not painting. But, and that's the best I can do. And that's, that's a good thing. it's good, it takes patience to be a good listener. Though I know I can talk a lot too, but yeah, I can listen too. I mean, I have to jump in every now and then and say something, but yeah, that's what they need. Attention. So I'm just going to get off the SARS thing for one moment to give you this weekly volcanic activity report. Excuse me, for January 22nd to the 28th, 2020. New activity unrest was reported for 4 volcanoes. During the same period, ongoing activity was reported for 14 volcanoes. 14 now, okay? So I hope you understand that, of course, with all these earthquakes, especially that 7.7 down there by Cuba, and still, 5s and big 5s over in Puerto Rico. This whole planet is rocking and reeling. And the extreme weather conditions and the, floods and landslides and, well, we can go on and on. So 14 volcanoes, that's a lot of volcanoes. And there was a report out there. I mean, I had it up there, but I took it down. I mean, I guess it was a volcano in Mexico. I don't know, maybe it was one of these, the Philippines. But there was a report of some UFO that was supposedly around this volcano after it had erupted. But I saw in the background the stars, and the stars were moving, so it meant that it was sped up. I mean, it's in a faster forward type motion, and so it could have been a plane. That's why I took it off. I mean, it looked like a plane flying by. It flew by quickly, but remember that it was kind of like being fast forwarded. So I didn't want to, bother with that kind of stuff. If it's, worth looking at and picking apart, but it was just too easy to debunk it. So, and in any case, so what? If they're out there, that's, they're out there. I mean, I believe that fallen angels, we can get into that talk about later, but I believe that, they kind of create a lot of this stuff. And we probably do have experimental or other craft as well. I mean, after all, we do have a space force now. And I guess we would need some type of aircraft, to call it that, I guess. I don't know why I don't know why that dog's barking, but it's not, they're not playing with the bird anymore because they killed the bird about a week ago. Actually, I think I was finishing up doing a broadcast and I was editing the video or getting it ready to be put out there. And I heard my wife yelling at the dogs pretty loudly because she doesn't normally do that at the dogs. So, yeah, come to find out that they had killed the bird. The bird was flying around like it normally does, buzzing their heads like they've done for years, at least a couple years. Anyways, well, the dogs got carried away. I guess, I can't really blame it, I guess, his reaction, animal reaction to it. But, yeah. So anyway, life goes on. Yeah, I still, come home expecting to say hello to the bird, but anyways. So let's just go from the very beginning here with this coronavirus, find out where it brings us. This from Natural News. Harvard professor arrested for conspiring with the Chinese spies to smuggle biological material into the communist China. Bad enough we got these secret labs that we only know about when some kind of containment is, broken and then you set the whole place on fire with some kind of biological weapon, like the coronavirus. And they were studying the Ebola as well. So, I'm surprised that you don't, we've heard about that one woman coming across the border, but I'm surprised that we're not hearing more about that. Maybe they're washing that as well. I don't know. We're trying to figure out, I was talking with World Watchman, and we're trying to decide what kind of virus would be worse than the coronavirus besides Ebola. I think Ebola would be the worst if there was an outbreak. They're already having problems containing it. Even though the Chinese, some people give them kudos because they've done some extreme measures in trying to contain this, but it's not being contained. It really isn't. And in that event, 201, I mean, they talk about, people thinking that they, in the early stages, thinking they've got a handle on it. And then next thing you know, they don't. And it just explodes. And I think we're at that precipice. I really do. And they're talking about just in an 18-month span. Okay, that's a year and a half. I don't know, how long has it been going now? Probably a month. So just imagine another 17 months of this. 65 million. Just keep that figure in your head, okay? 65 million people, they're claiming, died from this. And this is an exercise that they're talking about. I guess we'll see. I hope somebody went and looked at that event 201. I'm going to be looking at a little bit more of that this weekend to see how close they're sticking to the schedule. Yeah, so anyways, arrested for bringing in what? The federal court reportedly unsealed a shocking set of indictments indicating Charles Lieber, the head of the Harvard University Chemistry's department, as well as 2 Chinese nationals for smuggling biological material into China and later lying about it. I read part of it. I do not know what the heck they brought in unless it's further down. But anyway, smuggling in 21 vials and still biological materials, and they're not telling us why, in his socks. I don't know how you get 21 vials in a sock, unless your foot's not in it. So anyways, you talk about the money that he was paid, more than, let's see, $50,000 per month. Anyways, I'm not going to go continue to look down it. Don't know what he brought in. All I know is that, good thing they caught him. Who? World Health Organization. They just declared the coronavirus a global emergency. Now, that was today, January 31st. I'm pretty sure that they've already said that. They've already said that they also have human, contamination. Yeah, I mean, why do you think all the people in China are sick? Well, you think it's because, they spit on somebody? No, whatever, man. It's an airborne virus. It's attacks your lungs. You get pneumonia and bronchitis and all that stuff, especially if your immune system is compromised. So, I mean, some of these things we just already know. But there are 1 or 2 things that we do need to know. We're going to get to that. And this is one thing, and I've heard this for 2 days now. And whatever, it may be happening. I do wish that somebody would go over there and start reporting this stuff. Let's be honest about it. Let's get it contained and stop. This is what happens. People try to lie, and once you lie, man, you've already done a bad deed, and it just piles up. When you try and you lie, and that, you try to come up with another lie to fix that lie, and then the lies just compound. And that's how politicians work. And I think that somebody said that they've told so many lies that they're starting to come around, and I don't know exactly what he said is going to happen, but you'll just see it. Just come. You'll know that they've been lying because they're trying to cover up the lies with more lies, and it just doesn't, like Adam Schiff, doesn't make any sense what the heck he's talking about. This guy really thinks, believes his lies. That's what the Lord said he would do. He would make them believe their lie, and so they do. In any case, I mean, it looks like the president's going to be acquitted, and in any case, what's going to happen the next 4 years? We'll see. Report accuses China of burning bodies to cover up coronavirus death toll as emergency declared. And this is not the only article we have. This is from Three Front Project, and where'd they get it from? Well, it's just a WHO declaration again. Well, let's go to this next article. They start talking about more here. This is from IntelliHub. Crematorium trash bins filled with human ashes after only 1 day as the Chinese government burns bodies in secret. Now, see, having this alone, they, might have this AI out there and hear those words and automatically ban for some reason. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we're being lied to. Crematoriums in China are overflowing with human ashes as the coronavirus outbreak consumes life. Yeah, that's what it does. Let's see. And here's another one. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I thought there was 3 articles I had out there about them cremating bodies, but apparently not. See, this video was posted to Twitter, reveals the extent. Okay, well, they're probably already messing with me. It's getting harder to control this. Yeah, one of the crematoriums in Wuhan was filled with ashes, and this was just 1 day. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see if it's really ashes. What does it prove?
装满了9个垃圾桶，10个垃圾桶，10个垃圾桶啊，这是装尸体的袋子。
Yeah, if you know Chinese, let us know what he said. 13 seconds of them pointing at garbage cans with yellow, I don't know, looks like maybe bags. I don't know. I mean, really, do they put human waste on the side of the road? Anyway. So, yeah, I've heard that for 2 days now, and, finally seeing the articles. But in any case, I mean, what do you expect them to do? They got to do something with all the dead. Here, we got all those, we got all those buried somewhere in the middle of the United States, those big 5-person coffins, or they call them coffin liners, but I mean, whatever. I guess you could put a coffin inside of them and then seal them in those plastic bins and cover it to make sure that nothing gets out. Yeah, that could be it, but we've had them for years. It's still buried somewhere. Maybe they'll find a use for them now. This I heard about the other day too. Coronavirus scare leaves 6,000 quarantined on a cruise ship. India confirms the first case. So what doesn't happen on a cruise ship these days, right? I mean, every time, I don't know, I guess it's every 3 to 6 months, maybe more like every 6 months, you hear about something going wrong on a cruise ship. Either they're running aground or their food is contaminated and people throwing up all over the ship and the plumbing is all messed up and they're, have to stay out there. They're quarantined. I would, as much as I've been on a one-day cruise ship one time. I thought it was pretty fun, but not with a bunch of people getting sick and throwing up. And there's other things that were been happening. Food's been poisoned. Something's always going wrong with these cruise ships. In any case, so following several unconfirmed scares, India has confirmed its first case of the novel coronavirus. That means all three of the world's most populous countries have now confirmed at least one case of the virus. Okay, India and China. Who's the third one? Who is the other third most populous country? Is that us? Is that the United States? Well, they're saying Brazil down here. Well, they're saying it could expand to Brazil, the world's fifth most populous country. So, Malaysia, 8 cases. I mean, you can go down that list on the map that I'll give you again. This one I'll put in this video again as well. And I just leave it open, and every day I go in there and I just, refresh it and see what it comes up with. I think they do it once a day. Yep, so we got the same figures that I had a couple hours ago. So, pretty sure, yep. So there you have that. I will give that to you. And so, who's this from? Investment Watch. Coronavirus. Chinese health experts warn patients get reinfected. That's a big problem. You go through all this, you get all these people, quarantined, separated, get them all, and then they go out and meet somebody who's got it somewhere else and get reinfected. That just sounds crazy, man. That just sounds like, if they can get reinfected, don't they build up some kind of tolerance once they get it and they get well from it, right? It's like taking taking the flu shot used to be like. It's not like that now because they have a lot of additives in that shot. I would guess that you build up a type of, immune system to it, Any case, just can't imagine, once that happens, to have it done all over again. So you basically got to keep these people locked up in a certain area for a long, long time until you're sure that this thing is contained everywhere. Can you imagine? It's just getting eerie out there. American Airlines will suspend all U.S.-China flights effective immediately. Well, I thought they had done that a couple, Trump had said no more planes to China. But somebody made a joke of that because, or was it, no, we're not accepting any more planes from China, but we will fly to China. So I don't get how it's just, oxymoron. It's just, yeah. I don't know what the heck that means. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And this is from Nacho News. This gets a little eerier, I guess you got to do what you got to do. And this is what the Chinese, how they're, getting aggressive with the procedures on how to stop it. Chinese leaders to sacrifice the coronavirus-infected cities to save 11 others, prepared to accept millions of fatalities. Well, hell, you got what, 18 million just in Wuhan, right? That was the last figure that I heard, 18 million there. That's going to be 1/6 or maybe even a little bit more of the 65 million in that event 201. So they made a decision to sacrifice entire cities of their own civilians in order to save 11 protected cities elsewhere, according to the bombshell leak acquired by Hong Kong media professional Stephen Shu-Yang, as reported also in the Epoch Times. The 11 cities on the CCP's priority list of being saved are Beijing, Tianjin, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Hangzhou, Ziyang, Xi'an, Harbin, and Yurki. Didn't know I could speak Chinese, did you? Except for that last one. That's a tongue twister. That's for sure. So yeah, they're prepared to protect these 11 cities at all costs, even if it means sacrificing other cities because of apparently their economic what do you call it, anchor, right? Because you know what happens with all these things, with all this disease and the quarantines and people not accepting Chinese goods coming out of certain areas, the economy is going to take such a hit. And I don't know if this is, part of the whole plan to bring this world system down to its knees and start all over. No, this was the third article that I missed. News outlet claims, and this is from End Time Headlines, China is cremated bodies in secret to hide true extent of the death toll. Yeah, they're claiming it's 100,000. I think that was one of them. But they're only admitting to what? The 9,926 that we just saw. They're only admitting to 10,000. So, yeah. But we won't know until somebody actually goes and finds out. Right now, it's just all speculation. You got, Chinese people, trying to either escape on planes and coming to other places. Like, what was the one we just talked about? Was that in India? In any case, they're trying to get out. And that's the one thing you can't let them do. You really can't. I mean, I understand about quarantines. As long as you, take care of the people, give them their supplies, food, water, whatever, rations that they need, I would expect that. But when you don't take care of these people, then it's just a slow death. Starvation, dying of thirst. I mean, there's a lot of people to take care of here. I have no problems putting my tax dollars to use and getting supplies for them so that they can have food, water, sanitary conditions. I mean, that's another thing. You get this coronavirus in there and you get all these people dying and falling down in the streets, you're going to get all kinds of other diseases as well. You might even get the Ebola, which they were, looking at also in Wuhan, right? Italy declares state of emergency after 2 cases of coronavirus confirmed in Rome. And I did not read this whole thing, but picked it up anyway. Entire school district in Ohio shuts down from 600 students sick. So this report coming out of Ohio is indicating that an entire school district was apparently shut down for 2 days this week after close to 600 students had reportedly called in sick from the flu. So a local affiliate indicated that all classes and after-school activities at the Three Rivers local school district in Cleves had been canceled for Thursday, January 30th through Friday, January 31st, today. Out of nearly 2,400 people who attend or work at these schools on campus, nearly 600 of them, I guess that's a quarter, students and up to 50 staff members are all out sick with the flu. I mean, isn't that the same thing? I mean, all these symptoms are like flu symptoms, it's coronavirus. So anyway, you remember that's how it starts, even though you don't know you have it. We know about that. 2 to 16 days at the incubation period. Big, wide gap, but so although our goal is to protect as much instructional time as possible, we also need to do everything we can to ensure students and staff are healthy and in the best environment to foster learning. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, well, so is it the flu? In any case, I think, I don't know, are they suppressing numbers here too? Is that what they're doing now? Yeah, so I'm going to, well, I'm going to show you a minute or two of these videos, but I wanted to show you this. If you're out there, if Christians, whoever, I watch TV, I admit it. I'm trying to get away from it again. I'd rather go read, but there is such a big lore to it, and I don't know what it is, except I don't quite know how to put it in words yet, but it's just bad. I know it's bad. And this is a new show that's come out, that came out on Fox. I watched it because there was nothing else new on TV, and you pay all this money for it, and you just stare at the screen at stuff that you've already seen. And so they come out with this new show, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, she used to be on, a couple of the what do you call it? Those little fellas. I forget. And of course, Rob Lowe. She used to be an elf in one of those elven shows. Forget which one it was. But so anyways, I turned it on and watched it I only had to watch it for about, well, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Because in that period of time, that's all it took for them to show a police officer and a firefighter talking about something, and then next thing you know, the cop is wiping some blood off of the firefighter's lip. Let me get that. Yeah, and you knew where it was going, and I immediately turned it off. This is what they're doing with everything they're coming out now. This supposed 6% of this LGBTQ movement has infected everything. Now I'm sorry, I'm old enough to remember black and white, Dick Van Dyke shows where even the married couple, okay, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, okay, were married in this show and couldn't sleep in the same beds. Slept in the room, but they were in separate beds. And now we're at, watching homosexual or lesbian encounters on TV, and sometimes even the acts performed. The vulgar, yeah, abominations is what they are. And at least somebody caught this, This is from the opinion, charisma. And that's what they basically tell you in this article, okay? And that's it. Brothers and sisters, I know TV is a lure. We get tired. We don't feel like doing anything else. And so we turn on the TV and just let it entertain us, because we don't want to pick up a book and read and turn the pages, because it's just too hard. And I understand that. We get home and we eat all this food that's not good for us because we're tired, because the food's making us tired. The air, the water, and all that stuff is killing us. It's making us tired. And so what do? And this is what they've done, and they've succeeded at keeping us in just inside our homes. They want to put us all in mega cities and compact us in there and stream everything to us, go to work, come home, and do it all over again. This vicious cycle, and all you do is pay them money for you to have your mind just go numb. It's a vicious cycle. It's hard to get out of. I understand that. I'm trying to do it again. I got away from watching TV mostly for years. Yes, I mean, I like watching football, It's the only sport that I really like watching. So I made the excuse that, it's only 18 weeks out of the year, 52 weeks, it's less than a third. Well, maybe a third. So I made it okay. I remember when I first went back to watching football. I mean, it was hard to see these people, this tackle football and the violence that was involved in all of it. It was really hard to see it again. but I let myself continue to watch it. And then eventually it didn't bother me. And it should be bothering me. In any case, people, this is why your pastors, if they're good shepherds, they will tell you that it's not good for you. They put it in our houses for a reason. And, you know, I know we keep, even I keep coming up with excuses to turn it on and watch it. You know, I turn it on and watch it, and I said, you know, I even pray while I'm watching it. I said, Father, this is out of my control. It's out of my control. Obviously, I'm looking at it. I hate it, but I still have it on. What the heck's the matter with me? But anyway, that's one of my continual battles right now. Got to get away. And thanks to the reading and some other things that a couple of sisters' books that were interested in that decided to go read. At least that is maybe a lifeline. And so far it's working because I don't even have the TV on now. Well, obviously I'm, you know, broadcasting, doing the news, but in any case, I'm trying to keep it off. So with that, everyone, I think that will be it. I have these, I have two more videos here I'd like you to go see. This one is only about 2.5 minutes. No, I don't know. Trying to think whether I should play it or not. This is from End Time Productions. Go subscribe to him. Puts out a lot of good videos, and I'll just play a minute or two of this because you'll see the quality and the content, and it's pretty good.
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed him, and they were given authority over 1/4 of the earth, to kill with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by wild beasts of the earth. There's something strange about the coronavirus outbreak and the way it's currently spreading around the world like an uncontrolled wildfire. We all know that reality is not what it seems, and oftentimes the truth ends up getting buried under a mountain of lies. You see, this outbreak of the coronavirus was not unexpected at all. In fact, you can say that it was pre-planned. October 18th, 2019. Event 201 begins.
The outcome of the PAPS pandemic in Event 201 was catastrophic. 65 million people died in the first 18 months. The outbreak was small at first and initially seemed controllable, but then it started spreading in densely crowded and impoverished neighborhoods of megacities. From that point on, the spread of the disease was explosive. Within 6 months, cases were occurring in nearly every country. It began in healthy-looking pigs.
All right, I'm going to have to stop it there because I've showed you this a couple times already. So he takes everything that we've been talking about for the past week, and I kind of liked it because he kind of condensed it all into 21 minutes. Instead of my long hour, for the past week and a half, he'll condense into 21 minutes. And he has a very good YouTube channel. I listen to it quite often. Very informative. But, I want to leave you with this, actually. This is one of the main things I wanted to get done because I believe he also mentions this later on. I think it was him, but it could have been somebody else I was listening to today. But take everything that you've learned out of what's going on with the coronavirus and Ebola and all these other, the Lacer also, and all these things breaking out in Africa, these pestilences. I mean, it's in the Bible. But don't worry about it. I mean, if you're a true brother and sister, and we try to, follow Christ, and if we know Christ, he's made promises. And I'm going to tell you it again, and I keep bringing it up. Go to Psalms 91. I'm going to read it for you again, okay? It's good to know, because right in the middle of the psalm is something that you should have stuck in your head. you have these things stuck in your head and you believe these things, then there would be no fear. What are you to fear about? You're going to die anyway. I mean, no matter what. I mean, it's pointed once to everyone to die, even though there are a couple that didn't yet. But anyway, Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Yeah. Amen. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Okay? 1,000 at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come to you. So don't worry, folks. I mean, yes, these things are foretold. These things are going to happen. They're going to continue to happen. You need to hang on to His word. His word is, he's everything in His word. He's hope, He's love, He's charity, all these things. And that's what we need to hold on to. That is our hope, and all the promises and all the provisions that He's promised, and everything, as long as we ask and believe. So with that, everyone, have a great Sabbath Eve. Have a great weekend. Like always, I try to get out, but doesn't seem like it's been working out lately. We'll see what happens. This world it's tough. It's tough, man, to step out of it completely while you're still in it. And we need to pray to try and figure that out, right? So God bless you all, okay? Peace out, everyone.